Recording in progress.
Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Donna Chow and I'm your host and moderator for today's eLotus webinar. eLotus is your leading provider of continuing education for acupuncturists. Today's webinar is Understanding Jimmy Chang's Clinically Proven Formulas Part 3, presented today by Dr. Jimmy Chang himself. Today's webinar will be from 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. Pacific time, and we will have one break. For lecture notes, you can download them directly from the Blue Course Access page in your eLotus account. To use the webinar chat room, please set your chat preference to everyone so everyone can see what you're typing and be part of the conversation. To ask Dr. Chang a question, please enter your question into the Q&A box. And finally, the quiz and video replay. You will be notified by email tomorrow once they are both available. Our speaker today is Dr. Jimmy Chang, a doctor of Oriental medicine trained in Taiwan and a licensed acupuncturist in California. He has over 40 years of concentrated clinical experience, treating over 500,000 patients and applying his expertise in differential diagnosis and herbal prescription. In today's class, you will learn the tried and true formulas from Dr. Jimmy Chang, the master of herbology, as he explores the art and science of his unique herbal combinations. You will learn about a range of herbs for relieving inflammation and heat. You will also learn the pulse indications for these specific conditions and how to prescribe a unique herbal formula for your patient. Dr. Chang has previously taught numerous courses with us, which is now available for purchase as distant learning CEU videos. Dr. Chang is the person to learn from if you want to be able to feel a patient's pulse and be able to identify the Western medical diagnosis and come up with clinically effective herbal formulas. If you want to cultivate your pulse diagnostic and herbal skills, he is the person to learn from. I recommend the Gold Pass for learning his pulse system. You will have unlimited access for a year to his pulse courses and herbs. And with the Gold Pass, you can also try the herbs that he mentions, since our sponsor Evergreen Herbs will give you a voucher for herbs. When I return to my computer, I will post a link so you can read more about it. All right, guys, let's begin today's class and welcome Dr. Jimmy Chang.
Don't say anything yet. Say shit for you. Oh, okay, you're on. Well, hi guys. Oh, hi guys. This is Jimmy Chan. And today I'm going to talk about something real interesting, which some of them has never been revealed ever before. But majorly today we're going to talk about this clearing heat and anti-inflammatory formulas. I'm sure you're going to use it and you're going to encounter all the situation every day. So it's very, very useful. Sorry, the air conditioning is funny. Okay. In case somebody have never seen me before, let me introduce myself a little bit. I practiced my Chinese medicine in Taiwan for 20 years, something, and I moved down here 26 years ago, and then started practicing here almost immediately. So about 45 years of practice and pulse teaching. And my pulse teaching has been so many years still going on over the internet, and somehow maybe with little hand-on teachings later. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about all the my experience of using the heat clearing anti-inflammatory formulas. Okay. Tina is going to say something or not? No. How were the formulas invented? Just from experience and try and error. And actually, I learned a lot from my patients' reaction after taking my herbs. So whenever they say, "Oh, Dr. Chan, your formula didn't work," I still have this, I still have that. Then I just modify it and become better and better all the time. So frankly, I learn a lot from my patient's reaction. So what herbs does, well, I use a lot, but you can find it in Tina's website, what I'm using every day, single herbs and formulas. Formula, how were they named? Oh, okay. What is Fang Jia Fang? Fang means formula, Jia means plus, Fang, again, the formula. So usually I put several, now I limited to 2 formulas together to get a better result. So, but I do have a webinar about in YouTube. You can check what I was using to put things together. It's very interesting. Do I have to mix herbs myself? Not necessarily. Tina has most of my formula made in her office, so you can directly buy it without having to buy too many single herbs to mix yourself. It can save you a lot of trouble. But I'm trying to limit it, all my combination as simple as possible, like you're gonna see today. Okay, we'll be talking about something, my own Herbal ABX. It's not the traditional Herbal ABX, which Tina has been selling. This one is pretty new for everybody, huh? And Gardenia Complex used to be called the USA one. Actually, I invented it when I was in Mexico, Albuquerque, giving all those classes. So it used to be called the Albuquerque one, but it's too long. So we call Gardenia Complex. It's very interesting to clear all the heat, top, middle, and the bottom. And Huang San, in Chinese means 5. Huang means yellow. The word in Chinese, yellow usually is like anti-inflammatory antibiotics in Chinese way. It's very, very interesting. It's a little bit different from the previous one. And the detox combo. Oh, this is good. This magical formula to detox the body, especially effective for inflammation of the urinary and edema or prostate swelling, also affecting dermatological and colon. Mostly is colon. In Taiwan, they use this combination to treat the colon cancer. But this, of course, the single combination is enough. It's not enough. We're going to use a lot of things along with it. And yellow 3. We got a yellow 5 yellow, another yellow 3. Yellow 3 is for inflammatory joint pain, arthritis, swelling knees, swelling tissues, and swelling fingertips or something. And finally, the last one is 二十汤. Actually, it's just 二 means 2. 十 means stone. 2 stone formula, you can call it, for asthma, trauma, irregular menstruation, and everything, and a lot of more. So this 6 combination is what we're going to talk about for you today. You can ask questions anytime you like to. Okay. Let's begin with the first one. Is my Herbal ABX. It's broad spectrum herbal antibiotic formula for clearing heat, detoxify, reduce inflammation, and swelling. Sometimes you might want to use this along with my astringent complex, because astringent complex is also good for this, but not for killing all the germs or inflammation, but majorly for shrinking the swelling tissue. So you put them together, is so invisible. Okay, this my Herbal ABX only have 4 ingredients. Very simple. 大青叶、凤尾草，这是什么？紫花地丁、连翘。Okay, let me explain separately with them. 大青叶，青 is green. The Qing means green. Oh, here. Qing is green. So it got something to do with liver fire. And so is Banlangen. But anyway, 大青叶, the first thing I ever use is for the ear infection. I can write. Ear infection, the people who have a lot of a problem with the ear, they have some pus and infection and get pain and something like that. But anyway, the 大青叶 goes into heart and stomach. So what does it mean heart? Is there something wrong with the heart? No, it's not for the heart. It's for the hook pulse. This is 寸, 关尺. The 寸 is especially jumpy and superficial and goes down like this and like this. This is what we call heart fire, is hook. The heart doesn't necessarily mean the organ. It's the fire from the blood. Okay, you can say is the blood is too hot. Also, not only the physical inflammation, it's also for the mental stress and anxiety and depression, all things. If only there's a hook pulse, then you can use my 大青叶. Also, for the emotional condition, you can use 栀子. For that. So 大青叶 goes into the heart and the stomach. For the stomach fire will be like this. The right one will be very floating. Actually, a lot of people has this kind of problem. This is the right side, huh? A lot of people have this problem. Stomach fire, because people always eating some strange things like spicy, greasy, too much carbs, too much sugar. Stomach fire, sometimes it refers to sugar. Whenever there's a stomach fire, there's a sugar problem. It's very accurate. Okay, 凤尾草. Also into stomach and colon and liver. But I use 凤尾草 for stomach fire, just the real gastritis or duodenum ulcer, something like that, with a pain or something. But I put them together, they all goes into the stomach. So whenever there's a stomach fire, you can use this. Huh? The third one is 紫花地丁. It's sort of like a dandelion, 蒲公英. So when it goes into heart and liver. And the liver will be on the left-hand side. So the liver fire means not only means the stress, moody condition, also means some inflammation in the digestion, including the gallbladder. So whenever this two pulses appear, then you can use my 紫花地丁. But don't use it singly. I put them all together. There's a reason for that. And the last one is the 连翘. Lian Chao is a very interesting herb. It went into the heart. And colon. But majorly it goes into the blood system. So it will help, not as strong as my astringent complex, but it will help your body to absorb the blood stagnation, the dead blood. For example, you have a bleeding nose, you have something in the eye with the pop out the veins, or in the organ which you cannot see, with the all swelling, inflammation, and the swollen tissues, you can use at 连翘 to help your body to absorb it. And then when the swollen tissue is gone and the pain will go away. So I put them all together. I called my ABX. And it's for, so you may say, okay, let's do this. You may say, oh, the combination is for blood heat. So how do you know there's a blood heat? And how do you know there's a qi heat? Fire of qi. This is the fire of blood. How do you know that? Okay, let's make it easy. All this, all this medicine goes into the blood heat. So how do you know there's the patient is suffering from the heat in the blood or heat from the qi? It's very easy. You can, the blood section of the human body is, for the pulse, is on the left-hand side. And qi is on the right-hand side. So when you take the pulse without having to notice the 寸关尺, you just have to put your attention to right-hand side and left-hand side. So if the right-hand side, the patient's right-hand side is stronger than the left-hand side, then use qi clearing formula, something like the 白虎汤 or 竹叶石膏汤. Okay. If the left-hand side, the patient's left-hand side, the pulse is more jumpy, more stronger, more bigger diameter than the left-hand side, then you know it's some blood condition, some fire in the blood, or you may say some infection in the circulation or whatever, the heat of the blood. We don't use too much blood movers. We use my formula for the blood heat. Okay, any questions? No, it's not, it's different. Gardenia Complex plus Huang San, same as everyone's Gardenia Complex. I don't know that. Ask Tina. Okay, any questions? Again, questions. 五味消毒 is different. The approach, the channel, meridian it goes into is different. So again, let me say it again. If the right-hand side, the pulse on the right-hand side is stronger and bigger and thicker than the left-hand side, that's the qi fire. You may want to use the Gardenia Complex we're going to talk about later, and like 70%. And you can use at least 30% blood movers, like 血府逐瘀汤 or 桃仁红花桃红细乌汤. But if the patient's left-hand side is stronger and bigger and thicker than left-hand side, that's the blood heat, fire in the blood is too hot, then you use this my ABX. Okay. Any questions? Yes, correct. Yes, ABX is more for blood heat than qi heat. Yes, but it's my ABX, not the Tina's ABX. Huh? Heartbreak is for real solid swelling tissue. This is for general inflammation. It's a little different. Yeah, put your question in the Q&A section. Okay, I already answered that. Okay, so remember this This is for the blood heat. Okay. Especially this is 连翘 for blood heat, but 连翘 works a little slower. It's not so strong as my astringent complex. So I put them all together to make a perfect group combination. Huh? Okay. Okay, I use heartbreaker if there's a tissue swelling on a mass cyst, nodules, yes. And the pulse will be hard, like a bean, harder. Or you can see from the ear point that there's a little island or little beans on top of the surface. And this is just for general infection. That's correct. What to use for qi heat? I just told you 白虎汤, 竹叶石膏汤. Gardenia Complex more for heat, qi heat. Yes, I just said that. Okay. Okay. Oh, I have to close this. And okay, the second one is the Gardenia Complex. It used to be called USA 1 and Albuquerque 1, something like that. I cleared the upper, middle, and lower jaw fire. This is a combination of 3 formulas, not single herbs. So it's easy, very easy to understand the logic of only three formulas, not single herbs. Huh? 白虎汤, white tiger, is made of a 石膏 and 知母 or something like that to clear the heat, especially occurred in summertime. So when the summertime, a lot of heat definitely will go into the surface. So in the outside of the human body, it's like heat stroke or even high blood pressure, out of the stress or depression or something, it will cause more sweating and body heat, something like that. Like ladies with hot flushes is also good for that purposes. 龙胆泻肝汤. Okay, the pause for 白虎汤, just like it said in the 伤寒论, big, expanding. I like use the word expanding. The pulse like boom, 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 just like a balloon expanding, very strong. Again, it might combine with some kind of a blood pressure, high blood pressure. 龙胆泻肝汤, 龙胆 goes into the kidney. So the pulse will be like this. Okay, this is the right hand side. 寸. Guan. 齿. The 齿 of the right hand side is something like this. Wiry and long. The right 齿. Right hand side. So if the pulse is like this, I would say you have a lot of pressure in the neck and shoulder, swelling tissues like that. But if only like this red one, I call it 龙胆火, fire of 龙胆草. So this is the place to use 龙胆泻肝汤 because it's wiry, so it's liver channel related, and all this jumpy condition is for 龙胆草. So I like to use the 龙胆泻肝汤. I used to have had a patient with a very painful bleeding condition. A lot of the pieces out of his urination and a lot of pain. And the Western doctor put some needle into his the bladder area and to get all the dead blood out. That's extremely painful. And he's still bleeding in my office. He showed me that. I gave him the 龙胆泻肝汤 and the 栀柏地黄丸. And everything went well, perfectly. I didn't even use the black one astringent. I didn't invent that. It's about 35 years ago. I just used 龙胆泻肝 and 栀柏地黄 to clear his, you may say, this is a kidney fire too, because in the 齿 area. So I put them together. 齿 is the kidney area, but it's in urination, because this is the right-hand side. It's in urination system, so I use 龙胆泻肝汤 for clear the heat in the lower jaw, and the kidney, and the liver in the middle jaw. Clever, isn't it? So 龙胆泻肝汤 is very useful. Can clear because this dan, you may call it, is like a liver channel because the pulse should be wiry. So not only the liver, also the gallbladder channel. Gallbladder channel covers the side of the head. Actually, the gallbladder channel covers the side, each side of the human body. So whenever there's a migraine, and it goes into the ear. So anything with the ear, ringing in the ear, sleeping disorder, the ear pain, like I mentioned earlier with 大青叶, you can use the 龙胆泻肝汤. And I use this 龙胆泻肝汤 for vertigo. Vertigo has in Chinese it's called water in the ear. So some infection in the inner ear, so causing dizziness. In Chinese, we call it 耳水, ear water, and it could be the result of the infection from the nose and the upper respiratory system, things like that, in the ear, so causing dizziness. So I always used combined 龙胆泻肝汤 with 这个叫做半夏天麻白术汤 and 天麻钩藤饮. With this two formula together, I put them together, and this 龙胆泻肝汤 drain out the water in the ear, in the inner ear, to cure the vertigo, the severe dizziness. It works very fast. 半夏天麻白术汤 and 天麻钩藤饮. So this for liver wing, because the wiry pulse means it's something to do with the liver and gallbladder as well. And this for wing dizziness is the motion condition. So it's for we call this wing condition. So put them together, we'll drain the water out of the inner ear, then the dizziness will go away. But nowadays I add a little astringent complex to make it work even stronger and better. Can Herbal ABX be used with astringent complex if there's external symptom wing? No, astringent is not for the external wing. Okay. Which pulse style is best for 治百日? Not yet. This one, there's a kidney fire. I have a patient with a neuroma with a trigeminal nerve with 龙胆泻肝汤. No. How do you distinguish between heat in thin gel and aortic stenosis caused by stronchus? They are the same. Gardenia complexes. Okay. Which policy is best for 自保地方? Okay, later. So the 龙胆泻肝汤 is actually for upper jaw, middle jaw, something like that. Okay, 淄博地黄丸. Okay, definitely this is for kidney fire, huh? Kidney fire is on the 齿. So most of the time it's like this. Both 齿 is wiry and strong. It is, of course, it's hormone related. And I don't know why I use this one in my sugar combo to cure the diabetes. I use this in my sugar combo with M3 and astringent. This three combination cures all kind of diabetes, type 1, type 2. Type 2 is very easy to detect because type 2 diabetes is the stomach fire. So the left one, the right one is very strong. And the type 1 is not detectable from pulses. And I do believe everything is type 2. The original type 1 diabetes is very rare, very, very rare. So I use this 淄博地黄 and M3 and astringent complex to cure the type 2 diabetes. Even many kids, I invented it from treating a kid. Even they are already using the insulin injection. Their blood sugar can be very high. A little boy high in the daytime, another one high in the nighttime. But with my combination, M3, astringent, and the 淄博地黄, they all went down nicely. Okay, so 淄博地黄丸 is for kidney fire. Here, kidney fire, kidney in the middle and outside. So this combination is good enough for clearing any heat, upper, middle, lower jaw, inside and outside. So if the patient both hands are jumpy, the pulse are very jumpy, you just can't use it. And even the patient has high blood pressure, high blood sugar, cholesterol, everything, all the heat, you can take care of this, especially in summertime. People get a lot of heat stroke. I used to use just simply 白虎汤 and 葛根汤 for fever, not necessarily from the heat stroke, just for general fever. You know, people have fever during the COVID condition. They have fevers. I use 白虎汤 and 葛根汤. But in California, we're not allowed to use ma huang, so the effects may be a little less, but 白虎汤 always work. You can use 白虎汤 for external and inside heat. Use a little bit 葛根汤, like 25%, to clear the surface heat, and the fever will go down quickly. Okay. Any questions so far? Do you add antiviral for COVID? Yeah, maybe 那个普剂消毒饮. Okay. Any more questions? And the 龙胆泻肝汤 is not only for this formula I invented for a friend of mine. this guy is a businessman, so he had a lot of business dinner to attend to, so they always drink too much, and he always get headaches after drinking. Actually, I invented the formula for him because after drinking, your pulse will be big, right? But big, but not hard, not solid. So the big pulse heat, but not combined with any kind of high blood pressure. It just heat. And he always had headaches after drinking. So I designed this formula for him, and the headaches went away very soon. And he recovered from the hangovers very quickly. So 白虎汤、龙胆泻肝汤 and 淄博地黄丸 for heat, all kind of heat, upper, middle, and lower jaw fire. Okay, any questions? Good. Oh. Okay, here's a sample. How do I get rid of this line?
You want to take it off?
Temporarily hide. I need to use the
hide
later.
it.
Huh?
You're going to hide that, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Just click.
that's too big.
This one, right? This one, you don't want it, right?
Uh-huh.
Hide here. Oops, sorry.
How do I get it back?
You just go here.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, yeah, so hide it. Oh, here, hide it.
Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. What? Oh, here. Okay, this is a sample. You don't see much inflammation here, but you do see it here. No, I still need it, sorry. Okay, you see this area? This is the thyroid. So this guy this patient must have some kind of inflammation in the thyroid area. So we can use this is the middle jaw, right? So you can use my Huang San, or you can use my ABX, all good. And combine with the astringent complex, then will work even better. For the rest, if you're not familiar with the pulse, look at his ear. It's all clean. I don't see any redness. So there is not much inflammation, but here, a little bit, this is the hip. So he might have a little hip pain. So in addition to using because this also the hip, but it's dark. So you might want to use 乳香没药 and some kind of a heat clearing formula we just talked about. Maybe Huang San or maybe ABX, all work well. And see, this area is dark. It's the intestine. So it's no inflammation, just blockage. And see, this is the colon, it's pretty clean. And everything else seems to be okay, a little tight here in the neck and shoulder. So you put them together, you will use heat clearing medicine for this, for the pain, and 乳香没药 and some blood mover like a 生痛熟鱼汤 for this case. Huh? Good. Remember, my ABX mostly for heart fire and stomach fire. Okay, next combination is the Huang San. Like I said earlier, this Wu means 5. Huang is yellow. In Chinese, yellow, the herb, local herbs with the yellow means anti-inflammatory, like heat clearing stuff. So I use it for all kind of headaches and all the swollen condition, headaches and various swelling, pain, inflammation due to heat, also for headaches due to high blood pressure. So this is majorly for high blood pressure. Okay, we combine with 大丁黄、虎咬黄、鼠尾草、柳枝黄、茶匙黄. Interesting. The 大丁黄, is for also for colon cancer. This 大丁 Huang is for colon, cough, because the lung and the colon, large intestine are a couple, right? And the joint pain. This 大丁黄. So if your patient has something with this cough or respiratory system and colon, like enteritis, colitis, diverticulitis, anything, you can just, you feel the heat and you would. Okay. I tell you where to find the colon area later on the ear. This colon, huh? And Hu Yao Huang, Hu is tiger. Yao means he bit you, bite you. So it's going to be very painful, right? So this medicine is a quick release of pain from inflammation. Like that, you got bitten by a tiger and pain, this medicine will help you to release it real fast. Hu Ya Huang actually is also to the heart, to the stomach, and to the lung. And it can stop the pain very fast. If the pain, the pulse is jumpy, and the major complaint of the patient is the pain of the swelling tissues or even external injury or fell down soft tissue damage from falling down, or rheumatoid arthritis with the swelling knee joints, or with the gout. And I always combine this Huang San with my astringent complex. So Hu Yao Huang is not only for visible swelling tissues or for invisible area. As long as the pulse is jumpy, it doesn't matter upper, lower part, or wherever, just use it. But I don't use it individually. So I put them all together, called this Huang San, like 5 great healed, all combined together to kill the bad guys. Oh, okay. What's it? Shu Wei Huang. Shu actually means mouse, rats. Wei is the tail. It's good for water retention. In addition to the previous heat, inflammation, high blood pressure, headaches, and pain, this can do better than that. This can do this inflammation, but in addition, he can help with the water retention. Maybe the guy doesn't have a water retention, but he has some water in the joints, swelling, visible or not, or some skin problem with the bubbles and all the water. You can add this Shu Wei Huang together. And again, I am not using it individually. I use them all together. There's 5 here all together to do the job. And the water is a very commonly seen condition on human being, on every patient. Actually, not only for the water, the visible, the leg is not swollen, but still have water. The pulse will be deep, maybe forceful or not. But anyway, the pulse is deep, there's a water retention. Whenever there's a water, there's a joint blockage, especially in the small joints. You can touch it. Sometimes you can press the skin down to see a hole, convex hole, or concave the hole. So I add Su Wei Huang for releasing the water out of the swelling joints. And again, this one. Okay, this is Liu Zhi Huang. Liu Zhi Huang is one of my yellow threads for the arthritis. Somehow it works like aspirin, help to clear the inflammation and blood stagnation too. And also, Liu Zhi Huang has something special, more than just heat curing. It's for liver hepatitis. Hepatitis not necessarily from virus. A lot of Western doctors, I don't know, their concept, their logic is very strange. Whenever there's more than one reason, the reason they only accept is the virus infection, then they can call it hepatitis. Actually, a lot of things can cause hepatitis. For example, Tylenol. If you overdose the Tylenol, you get liver damage or inflammation. If you drink too much, you got liver infection, again, combined with viral or bacterial infection, causing the liver index up. And pain, and spray pain, and this solvent and thinner. The pain thinner is the worst stuff. And when a lot of workers doing with the spray paint, they inhale all those dirty things into the liver. I treat a lot. When I was in Taiwan, people using this thinner when making the paint and spraying the paint on the furniture, and even artists, they use the thinner to thin their oil painting. I was treating several guys with that. With a lot of things they inhale when they do painting. I always ask them to don't do the oil, do some acrylic. They just don't accept it. Oil is better. But anyway, they will cause hepatitis, not necessarily from virus infection. Anyway, the liver damage, the Liu Zhi Huang can do something about it. And of course, there's Liu Zhi Huang also for cough and the headaches. This is Liu Zhi Huang. So put these four heroes together, we already can do a lot of good jobs, can we? Right? How? Questions? Sure, it's good. So someone says, so Shifu Shu Wei Huang is good to remove wet in body like a fanji, or just remove water in the joint. Remove the body, the water out of the body, not only the joints. Is Huang San good for immediate post-surgery inflammation? Yes, but I would like to ask you to add some astringent to it. I will give you an example later. Okay, the last one, Cha Chi Huang. This is especially designed for high blood pressure. Okay, let's make it simple. This Cha Chi Huang is so valuable. It works for the head. So what's going on in the head? Everything. Eyes, mouth, nose, ears, headaches, high blood pressure, and everything all those things will affect your head, make you so uncomfortable. Red eyes, runny nose, swelling the sinus, throat, swelling tongue, swelling gum, swelling ear, causing dizziness and headaches, and neck and shoulder. So you can use 茶石黄. And even for the toothache, and also good for hemorrhoid. So put them together, we can clear all the inflammation in the head, and swelling, inflammation, and heat. Okay, there's something else in the head, like what? Like stress, anxiety, sleeping problem. You can also use this for clearing the heat. I was treating very successfully without using my anxiety combo. A Korean gentleman, he came into my office with his pulse so jumpy and everything. I wrote down the file, said like a volcano. I always use that word to describe the condition like that. I told him your body was like a volcano, and mostly in the liver area. And his major concern is that he cannot sleep for a while. I didn't know why. I just know his body is so expanding, so aggressive. So I give him something like that, Huang San and astringent, and some blood movers, not too much, like 25% something. And not too long after that, somebody, his another son told me his father is so stressful and couldn't go to sleep because he lost his son in a car accident not too long ago. That's caused his insomnia and everything, and also aggressive. Actually, it's autonomical disorder. Everything is nerve problem, autonomical. So everything is just like too much, just like a car. Nobody's stepping on the brake. All the powers on the gas pedal, always burning. The engines keep on running, overheat. So that's why I use this. And he was very happy. But next time he came for the visit, he was smiling. He had a smile on his face, and sleeping was much improved. So the heat, causing the heat in the head, we can use the 茶石黄. So put them all together. Let's make it simple. Whenever there's a heat in the head, okay, you may say in the upper jaw, use 茶石黄, 五黄散. So what about the pulse? The pulse will be like this. The right twin is so jumpy, so simple. This is the skin. Sometimes you don't have to take the pulse. You can observe the jumping without having to touch it. The pulse is so jumpy and forceful, just like a volcano. That's always used the word volcano to describe the, hey, your body's like a volcano. Take it easy. And I will use Huang San for that. Okay. Is Huang San good for immune? Yes. It's good for acute concussion. Yes, absolutely. And again, for concussion, I would definitely add two stuff, astringent and blood movers. How to choose among 柴枝黄, astringent, hemorrhoid? Okay, use them all. That's what I do. Put them together for hemorrhoid. 茶枝黄, astringent, 真人活命 for hemorrhoid. Good. You can use them all. No problem. Good. Okay. Okay, as for hemorrhoid, do you know how to take a pause or hemorrhoid pause? Hemorrhoid. Where is hemorrhoid? In the rectum, large intestine, so it should be on the right twin, correct? And And for the condition of hemorrhoid swelling, like a swelling veins, with the bleeding, with all the internal inflammation. So people will use something to clean the heat and everything. So but I'm not talking about the treatment. I'm talking about the diagnosis. How do you make a diagnosis that there's hemorrhoid there? The position should be on the right swing. But what would the pause be? Okay, I'll talk to you later. You answer me. What do you think a hemorrhoid pause should be? Okay, that's a question. Answer us if you can. Okay, and for this case, you see, this is the redness here. That's the inflammation on the neck. So you can use my astringent, my Huang San. If you want to use my ABX, fine. Oh, for the neck and shoulder. Oh, sorry. Here, the neck. And for here, see what it looks like? Like a dark spot. So there may be some old injury on the hip. This is the hip area. So you're gonna need some kind of blood movers for something. And you see this, there's a black spot there. That's the stomach. And I believe that's a scar. So how come there's a scar? Because this guy had some kind of ulcer, gastro ulcer or duodenum ulcer before, but it healed and create something there. Visible means the scar is pretty big in there. So if this guy is complaining, I have a stomach pain or something, you might want to use my code breaker resolve lower for this stuff. Okay. Right turn big and empty for hemorrhoid. Hemorrhoid plus should be a thick pause. May or may not be jumpy. Hemorrhoid depends on heat or qi deficiency, so big and weak. Hemorrhoid is right turn, yang ming short pause. You're all right, but in real world, it's not like that. Okay. This is right swing. The hemorrhoid pause is like it's like this. The right twin is deep and scattered. This is the pause for hemorrhoid. I don't know why. I cannot explain it, but it's just like that. Whenever it's not, you said it's supposed to be jumpy. Sorry. Supposed to be jumpy and short or empty or not? No, it's not. It's like this, deep and scattered. Scattered. I don't know why, but it's just like that. Okay? Hi, Sam. Take a break. Okay, let's take a break. We're back in 5 minutes, but I'm still here. You can ask questions as you wish. So this is the pause for hemorrhoid. I don't know why. Just do it. It's on microphone.